Week number 6 in the ACC, and we're in Raleigh. Steve Adazio and Boston College is here. The Eagles have arrived from Chestnut Hill to meet number 23, NC State. The battle lines are being drawn here in the Atlantic Division today as Dave Doran's Wolfpack takes the field after a conference opening win against Virginia last Saturday. Meanwhile, Boston College got back on a winning track, defeating Temple. And all you need to do, one quick check of the Atlantic Division, shows you how big this one is. Both still have Clemson remaining in their schedule. NC State in 2 weeks, BC on November the 10th. Great to be with James Bates and Rebecca Capel, West Durham. We welcome you to our coverage. An exciting ball game we expect with the Eagles and the Wolfpack. And a unique game, James, because when you start talking about these two teams, part of the two-battle position is NC State's wide receivers.
Without a doubt. We all know they've got a quarterback that can get it to him, one of the best in the land. But it starts with 3 guys, and it goes so much deeper. Just the tip of the iceberg when you look at the tops in the receiving core here for the Wolfpack. Jacoby Myers, banged up a little bit this year, still one of the best out there. Kelvin Harmon, big and strong, averaging 6 catches a game. Emeka Emezi, last week, he was lights out, the best of them all. They're so competitive, not just against these defenses as you watch them go up and high point those balls, just such physical players, but they're also very competitive amongst one another. That meeting room, they're always getting each other better. There's Emezi. Look at the big banger, and Jacoby Myers, who has been injured a little bit, he's feeling better than he has all season long, so expect the junior to be big. So that means the leader of this defense in the secondary, Lucas Dennis, he and his mates in the secondary, they've got their hands full. But it's not just up to them to shut them down. Maybe more importantly, it's all 11 of Jim Reed's defenders there for Boston College. They're physical, they're strong, they've got to be gap sound though, and they can't give up the big plays. They have to shut down the run.
All right,
Ryan Finley and company, they are going to get theirs through the air at times, but they cannot be a two-way go team, or it'll be hard enough to shut them down in the air.
Well, and exactly right. Now for Boston College, the offensive story there, Rebecca, has been in play all week long, and it concerns the status of their All-American running back, AJ Dillon.
Yeah, that's been the burning question all week long, Wes. Will their star running back, AJ Dillon, be healthy enough to play today? And the answer is no. In fact, he didn't even make the trip. He suffered a high ankle sprain last week in the game versus Temple. He tried to get back into that game and couldn't go. And although he has spent the entire week doing treatment with the belief he would be out here today, coaches say it's not possible. Obviously, a huge loss because he leads the nation in rushing right now. But Coach Adazio said this week the team spirits remain high because they feel great about the next man up. So today, look for redshirt sophomore Ben Glines to carry a lot of the load. He can play wide out. He can be running back. And the strength and conditioning coach said Ben Glines is the toughest player on this Eagles football team, without a doubt, guys.
All right, Rebecca, thanks very much. Boston College won the toss, elects to receive. And, James, we're going to get a look at Ben Glines, Travis Levy, potentially freshman David Bailey, all trying to fill the role of not only the ACC's leading rusher, but the 5th leading rusher nationally in AJ Dillon.
Yeah, but to call a guy the toughest on the team, coming from the strength coach, from the weight room, says a lot about Ben Glines, and we'll see. But you're right, some big shoes to fill, the sophomore. Michael
Walker, very dangerous in the return game, and he'll field it a yard deep and bring it out. Walker flipped over just beyond the 25. And that's where the redshirt sophomore, Anthony Brown, Cliffwood, New Jersey, gets started.
Well, a student of the game and a great leader are some things that stand out with Anthony Brown. He can move around a little bit, buy himself some time, and he's got big targets, not just out at the wide receiver spot, but some tight ends, and plenty of them that can do a whole lot in this offense. A different look that you'll see most Saturdays from Boston College, thanks in large part to those tight ends like Tommy Sweeney.
11 personnel for Boston College with 3 wide receivers to start, and a quick throw by Brown. And on the far side, Kobe White the catch. Number 12 on the year for the sophomore redshirt from Harrisburg, PA.
Well, they come out slinging here with the young guy. And this is a Boston College team. They're right back over the ball. Ran a record 105 plays in the win over Temple last weekend, and right back at it.
Bootleg for Brown, out of bounds ahead of the pressure of Jermaine Pratt. So it'll be second down coming up for BC. And Dave Huxtable, the Wolfpack defensive coordinator yesterday, concerned about the bootleg game that BC packs.
Yes, they've got a great bootleg game. They do everything at this rapid pace, but one thing that a lot of tempo teams don't do is they've got those tight ends in there. They get you with some shifts and some motions at the same time.
Here's Glines on the carry, working left side, breaks free midfield, and Ben Glines knocked out of bounds by Pratt at the NC State 36-yard line.
Wes, this is going to be a physical game. Offensive lines, great play. We know NC State's been really good. Watch big 77, John Baker, get up and go. The big man leading the charge and sets a nice block. A big pancake for Ben Glines. How's that for a first run?
Boy, no kidding. 23 yards for Glines. 36-yard line of NC State. Here's the sweep, and this is Jeff Smith, and he'll get a yard. Smith, very dangerous. In fact, he's a multi-threat guy for BC offensively. He's the senior from St. Pete, Florida. And our hardy star to watch is NC State's linebacker and the ACC's leading tackler, James.
Big 6'3", 240-pounder Jermaine Pratt, the leading tackler, and sometimes just a little bit too aggressive and too good. He's got to make sure he plays within that scheme. Says his coordinator, Coach Huxtable.
Pratt trying to close the pocket. Brown going to throw for the end zone and beyond the reach of Smith.
Well, they're glad to have Smith back. It was Jeff Smith injured in that game last week as well. And there's Pratt on the blitz. Brown taking a step to buy some time, and a little bit of pressure, but still he needs to make that throw. Had a guy running wide open and a chance. Third and long.
Levy's coming to the backfield with Brown. First third down of the day for Boston College. BC 9th in the ACC. On third down, 8th is NC State defending the play. Crowd roaring at Brown. Trapped in the pocket. And Anthony Brown will be taken down at the 35. Loss of 1 on the play. Andreas Bryant. The senior knows Big E, they call the North Charleston, South Carolina senior.
Well, Big E and company, they did a fantastic job against Bryce Perkins, a very nifty quarterback from Virginia last weekend. Even getting held, Bryant strips away from it, comes and makes the play. Here they do it again. This is a team that lost the whole defensive line to the NFL draft last year. Let's see if they can stuff them on 4th and long. 13th time this year that Boston College has tried to convert 4th down. Out of the backfield and in the flat, this is Travis Levy, and he'll be banged out of bounds at the 30. So Boston College does not pick it up. NC State gets the hold. Nick McLeod made the stop of Levy, and the Pack gets the ball on a fine defensive stand. These two defenses, these two defensive coordinators, look at these guys. Break down, come under control. Yeah, you may not make the tackle, but you know what? You don't go flying past and you give him a chance to run up the field, Isaiah Moore. From his middle linebacker spot, you can call that a miss if you want, but he breaks down enough to slow him down, let his buddies come help him out, and you get off the football field. Adazio's got a great defensive coordinator, and so does Dave Doran. Two disciplined bunches, but this bunch right here, they've gotten out of gap control once too many, and they've been hit for the big long shot 75-yard run last week. Here's Finley, first down give, and Reggie Gillespie gets a yard to the 31. And so Gillespie, the senior from High Point, North Carolina, and he's one of 2 running backs we expect to see for NC State, but we know who the trigger man is, James. Without a doubt, the transfer from Boise State. He came to town, a quiet guy to everybody outside the program, but boy, do those guys in the locker room love him. Ryan Finley, the leader, can sling it, a very smooth, very heady quarterback, and with so many weapons, can they make it a weapon on the ground today, too? Finley shoots it into a tight spot. Jacoby Myers the catch, and he'll spin to the 38. Nice play by Myers. And for Jacoby Myers, his 21st catch of the year. Harmon, Amezi, and Myers all with 20 or more grabs coming in. Here's Finley's numbers, and here's a third down and short. Right off the bat, trying to stay on the field. BC brings 4. And Myers another catch, first down. Well, there's a veteran. There's a veteran, and there's a guy who's worked with this quarterback for a long time now. Nice, easy pitch and catch, knowing where those sticks are. Defensively, it's tough, but you got to also know where those sticks are. Know where he's going to try to break it off. Big on third down. Ryan Finley has been so good on third down.
Here's a sweep, and this is Steph Lewis. And Lewis gets to about the 46. Got knocked back by the safety, Will Harris. 5-yard gain on the ground with Stephon Lewis, who's really battled some injuries. Jane, we saw him take a big lick in the Georgia State game and battled an injury in week 1.
You look at this roster, the receivers for Dave Doran and Steph Lewis and Jacoby Myers, the only ones who haven't gotten into the paint.
Yeah. Gary Angeline, the tight end, in that slot to the left side for second down. Here's another throw. What a catch! Harmon came back to make the play, and that was against Hamp Cheevers, James.
This is the matchup they want. They want Kelvin Harmon on Hamp Cheevers. Look at Cheevers. He's got good coverage. He's there. But you know what? Harmon is more physical. He's stronger. He's bigger. There's some pushing going on there that's part of it. Beautiful back shoulder throw. Harmon gets a little bit of space with his arms, separates, catches it. Big catch.
True freshman Ricky Person Jr.'s checked in for the Wolfpack. First and 10. Ball at Boston College's 33. We're off and running from Raleigh today. Here's Person, left side, 25, and driving to the 20-yard line. 13 yards on the carry for Ricky Person.
They're banging, they stretch it here. And listen to, you can hear them all the way up here in the booth. The helmet's popping, and an excellent job there by Tyler Jones, the 4-year starter, to really get a push and make that gap even wider, and count that as a big play. You can't give up those big runs, and that's one thing that's hurt them at times. They get out of gap control. They can't hold their ground. You don't trade 1-for-1 on every one of those blocks or you get hurt.
Here's the throw. This is Lewis, and Finley threads the needle, James. It'll be first and goal for NC State.
And that right there, Wes, is what I'm talking about. As they go into the CPI red zone, what the run sets up, Wes. The run sets up the pass. If they're able to run that football and you got that defense on their heels, it's going to feel like everything's working. And right now, this is one heck of an opening drive for Finley and his offense.
8th play of the drive for NC State. First and goal. Boston College's 7. Person trying to fight and turned away at about the 3. Max Richardson, sophomore weak side linebacker from Duluth, along with Isaiah McDuffie in on the stop for the Eagles. James, these are 2 of the best red zone defensive units in the ACC. Boston College has only allowed 14 touchdowns and 19 red zone possessions. In fact, they've had also forcing 2 turnovers.
And how about Doran's comment about it yesterday? He's like, you know, those defenses, they feel like they've let everybody down, just letting them get down there. So then they get even tougher.
Gillespie in the ball game. Finley wants to throw here. Tried to loop it, either Gillespie or Kerry Angeline. And I don't think Gillespie was able to break free from the BC coverage.
Yeah, I think it was Will Harris that came up and gave him a shot in the ear hole. And, you know, it's funny. That's a perfect example of just, I mean, that's football and it's going to happen. But if Gillespie has the ball in that case, then Will Harris probably kicked out because it's targeting. But those are shots that when you're not watching the ball that are happening every single play. It's a physical sport, especially on a day like today. These 2 teams going at it. Great job defensively. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Finley hands Gillespie, driving toward the end zone. He got in. Touchdown for NC State.
Well, that's good to see if you're a Wolfpack fan. Give it to the big dogs up front. Let them eat. Let's see what they can do. And also give it to a guy, remember, in Gillespie. All week long, after the big performance by Ricky Person, everybody's been talking about Person being the guy in the backfield. Give it to that back, the senior Gillespie. Let him go behind that big offensive line. And remember, that wasn't always easy, those situations, last time we were here against the Georgia State team.
Here's Christopher Dunn, the freshman. And the extra point is good. Touchdown number 6 for Reggie Gillespie. 23rd NC State draws first blood. So now Kyle Bambard will have to kick it away, and Michael Walker, #1 in the ACC, in top 20 nationally, and kick return average at 27.4, plays from the 2. Here's Walker, lowering the shoulder and driving it to the 22-yard line. There's a throw on first down, and Travis Levy. Now Levy and Glines, and we may see the freshman David Bailey, all tasked with replacing the productive AJ Dillon here today, who's not even on the trip with Boston College.
Quickly over the ball. How about that first down? While we were hearing from Hines, if they eked out staying in bounds and pounding it. You know, Hines not only physical in talking about matching the physicality of Boston College, but he ran a 10 300 meters. That helps a little bit too. Catch it out of the backfield.
Yeah, his sister also an outstanding track star here at NC State. Great to see Nyheim Hines and the success he's having with Frank Reich in Indianapolis.
And hometown crowd he was fired up about. They're pumped right now, all on their feet, trying to get this defense a big stop.
Brown off the hands of Smith, incomplete. Chris Ingram, the sophomore at corner. Boy, it looked like there might have been a little bit of confusion with Walker and Smith out there, James.
Well, I think so. They ran the route in the exact same place, and Smith coming out of there, it looks like he's going to get tangled up with Walker a little bit. Michael, there you go on the other side, trying to maybe run some interference for the defensive back, a little pick play, but he got in the receiver's way. And really, BC lucky that one didn't get picked off. They'll punt it away.
Here is Grant Carlson, redshirt sophomore from Missouri City, Texas, to punt it away, and it's a good one. Thayer Thomas at the 25 and took a big leg. Ball popped loose. And did NC State get on it? We'll see. No, Boston College has it.
Wow.
Mediella Track knocked it loose. Thomas tried to catch it in a crowd.
The Eagles have had some mishaps on special teams, but as a whole, Steve Adazio said, I am so happy with the core unit, how they've played, and this shows the hustle right here. Initially, I even thought it might have been a targeting, but even better, the first one down there goes to the side. It was not a helmet to helmet. What a huge play.
Yep.
In the third phase of the game for an offense that needed to stay on the field a little bit longer, give that defense a break here early.
Glines. Pratt will make the tackle 5 yards down the field. Big turnover here early in the ball game, James.
Right down there knocking at the door, and they're showing you Glines. Good job up front by these guys too, and they're in the backfield leading the way. Garrison, the tight end. Mentioned those tight ends like Sweeney, they line them up all over.
Great rallying by the Wolfpack there. Pratt again. Boy, Jermaine Pratt's been everywhere early.
The leading tackler in the ACC, he's hunting them down. His coach, Dave Huxtable, said, you know, sometimes he gets going a little bit too fast, a little too far. Got to settle him down, He wants to make every single tackle out there.
Keep an eye on Tommy Sweeney, tight end, bottom of the screen here for Boston College. Brown to Sweeney, knocked away and almost intercepted by Dexter Wright. They were trying to dial the redshirt senior Sweeney.
Well, and here early on, and there's time for Brown, but still, gosh, there's a little bit of pressure in his face, but he has a clear look down the field and still decides to throw it. Great job by the defender of slipping in there, Dexter Wright. Should have hung on to it and had an interception there in the end zone. Instead, it'll be a Boston College field goal attempt.
33-yard try for Colton Lichtenberg, his first attempt of a field goal this year. Kick away. And that's just Boston College's second made field goal and second field goal attempted. But a win for NC State.
He's hit some big ones for him over the years. They're glad to have him back and glad to have this guy back in town. Orange juice, right?
Back in Raleigh, early turnover. Let's get to James Bates' forward keys to the game here quick.
I know where those keys are. Dude, where's my run defense?
Where are your keys?
Where's my car? You've got to shut down that run and line it up. both lines, offensively, defensively, for NC State. That's going to be so big today.
Where's my run defense?
Well, you know, Adazio and his dudes. Not that they've been non-existent, but, dude, they better be there today, dude.
Boy, am I glad you found your keys. Ball at the 25 for NC State. No return for trial.
Hey, then let's not get too far away from it without acknowledging the fact that Dave Huxtable's defense was called right back out there and was good enough to hold BC to a field goal after that fumble on the punt return team of NC State. Well, dude, where's my run defense? They better show up right here. 5.8 yards per rush on 5 carries on that opening drive.
Play fake to Person. Finley going to cut it loose. Amezi, the deep threat. And 2 Eagles contested, including Hamp Cheevers. And it looked like maybe Mike Palmer was also down there. There's Palmer, sophomore redshirt, Endwell, New York, who's been a backup in the secondary for him.
Palmer, a high school quarterback, does a good job knowing what to do there on the other side of the ball. The safety running, snap that head around. So 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion.
Yep. Eli Drinkwitz goes through his formation packages now. 2-by-2 look here on 2nd and 10. And this is the breakaway, Ricky Person. 1st down. Isaiah McDuffie runs him out of bounds, James, but I like Ricky Person now. Low to the ground, 17 yards on just his 2nd carry there, 3rd carry of the 1st half.
Well, they've got to be stopped at the line. They get a chance to knock him down. It's John Lamont, the backup middle backer, and he lets them slip on through. Look at the big bodies again up front. That's exciting. And the little man now, you've got competition now at the running back spot. We've talked about the competition that they have with the wide receivers. Now Gillespie in Person able to go back and forth. That can be scary for opponents.
2 tight ends, Autenreith in the backfield. Angeline up on the line. Finley fake the throw. Now he'll tuck and run and dive to midfield. A lot of poise involved in that, James. John Lamont there after the 8-yard play. A lot to like here, and coming up on 2nd down and 2.
And how about Finley, the star of the show, the guy who's all their hopes. You come around here, hang on that quarterback, he's diving head first, trying to get a couple extra yards. Tuffy landing on Tuffy.
Person, and close to the 1st down. So it'll be 3rd down coming up, Rebecca.
And guys, running back Ricky Person Jr., game changer last week when he returned to action. Back again despite being in treatment all week, not really practicing much. He isn't 100%, but Coach Doran says he refuses to sit on the sidelines and watch.
He said, I'm going. You know, the young guys, how many times have you heard, well, if he were a senior, he'd be playing. If he were a junior, he'd be playing. But he's a freshman. That's not the case with Ricky Person.
3rd down and a yard for the Wolfpack. Look at Finley. Option, slides, 1st down. Come on now, really? Boy, NC State playing with a tremendous amount of poise, James, in this opening period.
Well, how's that for 3rd down once again? We're coming into this game, they're almost 60% on 3rd down. That's good enough for 3rd in the nation. And oh yeah, by the way, they just converted one that was 3rd down and almost 20. They're now 4 for 4.
15 minutes in the books at Carter Finley. Battle in the Atlantic Division. And the Pack leads by 4. 2nd quarter coming up next. Quick check of the Red Lobster game summary after 15 minutes of Raleigh. The 1 turnover on the NC State punt return. And quite frankly, the Wolfpack defense held BC at the door for a field goal opportunity.
4 of 4 for Finley in this offense on 3rd down conversions. Ofer on the other side.
And Person fights for about 3 on 1st down toward the 42. Boston College, Carafa makes the play. Big redshirt junior from Ashburn, Virginia, on the freshman Ricky Person. Boy, they're excited about him in Raleigh.
Aren't they? He's a people person. It takes a lot of people to bring him down. Been banged up.
Yeah. Empty set for Finley, 3 to the boundary, including Lewis. Quick throw. This is Thayer Thomas's first catch of the day, 16th of the year. Taj Amir Torres, the tackle after 12 yards. Look at this.
His fans didn't even see it, though.
Thayer the Slayer.
Turn around so you can watch him make the catch.
Look at that. Thayer the Slayer. Heritage High School worked with the all-time Wolfpack great Torrey Holt in the offseason, James, to get better.
We had a bit of a coming out party when we were here last with Georgia State.
Sure did. Yep, absolutely.
Went off.
And Person again. Only got slowed down momentarily, but is able to fight for a couple of more. Zach Allen, preseason All-ACC at defensive end to stop.
Well, hanging on for dear life there. And we've seen, you know, it's a defense that has had trouble in space at times with the open field tackles. But here they've actually had some trouble. They've missed a couple tackles. Not that one, but they've missed a couple right there at the line of scrimmage that have really cost them. Allen able to hang on right there. What a good-looking defensive end. All the guys across the front, very fundamentally sound, outstanding players.
Finley in that power pistol look. Rips it, intercepted. Is that Bletzer? It is. Kevin Bletzer, the linebacker, pulls away the 3rd NC State turnover and the 2nd interception of the day, 3rd of the year for Ryan Finley.
Wow, the experience. So the run, the play fake, boom. That's supposed to pull that linebacker off because he's got to respect that run enough. Bletzer, you can get a feel, and again, I don't know that a freshman or a sophomore just has unless it's a natural knack, a feel of the game like that, where you can read off the line, you know it's a pass, so I'm not going to go for that fake on the run, not going to get out of my spot. Boom, throws it right to him. How about that? 2 interceptions by this defense against the mighty Ryan Finley, but can Anthony Brown and company march it down the field and do something with it now?
Play fake by Brown, looking deep and incomplete, looking for Chris Garrison, his tight end on the wheel route. He had C.J. Lewis on the post in the middle of the field, but opted to try and dial it for Garrison.
Well, you know what? They dialed it up, trying to get the mismatch, what they might think mentally. Speaking of the young guys, Tanner Engel, just a freshman. Hey, maybe we can get this freshman on the wheel route, get him biting on that out. It's not happening with Tanner Engel. Very mature football player.
Wow, Klein's hit behind the line. Wolfpack flying to the ball. Aleem McNeil, true freshman from here in Raleigh at Sanderson High School, made the stop. That stat we ran a moment ago, James, 3 takeaways, and now it's almost back to 1 yard of offense for BC off those takeaways.
0 for 4 on 3rd down. This one they have to go 11 yards to move those chains.
Brown out in the flat lines, trying to find an edge, and will not get the first down. Engel was fighting through traffic over there, the freshman linebacker. They had all sorts of contact over there, just an 8-yard play.
Well, you're going to get some pressure, but that's because they're setting up the screen. The big guy's letting them through, just running out of space. Again, good and sound, the linebackers, and in the secondary, hey, let them dink and dunk. Let them get those screens. We're all in position. Nobody's out of position. They've got them in the angles. Steve Adazio, he wants that offense to stick out there a little bit longer. He's got his defense holding him to 7 with a couple interceptions.
Carlson's punt to Thomas. Bearcats call for and made at the 23. 43-yard punt. Timeout on the field. Atlantic Division battle in week 6 underway in Raleigh. Finley. Gillespie trying to sweep right. Nicely done. Big lick by Lucas Dennis. Led the nation in interceptions a year ago. He's already got 1 this season. And that's close to a first down. Be a yard shy as Steve Adazio, native of Connecticut, coaching these Eagles. Both these guys in their 6 seasons. Over there with the side judge for a word about the spot. 2nd and 1.
Again, I like the competition that's now been created in this backfield. Ricky Person and Gillespie trading off. They can spell each other, too.
Gillespie will fall forward for the first down, reaching the 33.5-yard line. Wyatt Ray the stop, and that brings us to our Toyota Tweet of the Week. And this comes from the folks at Pro Football Focus. They do some college work, James, on the research.
Okay.
How about this from last Saturday? Against Virginia.
Well, I mean, they've done their job up front, that's for sure. Only 2 sacks against them coming into this game. First in the ACC. And, you know, the pressure phased him a little bit, I'd say, on that last interception that he threw.
Yep. Finley dancing in the pocket. Crosses body on Reef. Or Angeline, beg your pardon. Kerry Angeline in his 3rd game of eligibility since transferring from Southern Cal with the catch of 24 yards.
Well, the rich getting richer when it comes to pass catchers. There's the pressure coming off the edge, and Finley, again, cool and calm. Let me buy myself some time getting around Wyatt Ray. He breaks contain. Then he's got the big body out there just waiting on that football. You know how football's changed a lot, not just we talk about the targeting, but they really let those offensive lines, and they're doing it both ways. They let them hold a lot more than they used to. Defensive guys don't even complain anymore. I can't even believe it.
Here's the give, and look at Gillespie fighting inside the 20. And a flag thrown in behind it as Will Harris made the stop. 22-yard run and might be a little extra behind it.
Personal foul, horse collar, defense, number 8. The penalty is half the distance to the goal line. Automatic first down.
First he had a little piece of that face mask. They didn't call it there, and that's the sleeve of the jersey, and it gives them that horse collar jerk. Obviously not something that they can send back up and review, but that's a tough one right there.
Fresh set of downs for the Pack. Gillespie again. Boy, got stopped right at the door, right around the 1.
Well, this is such a big drive. You start deep in your own territory about the 20, 25-yard line for NC State. You've been able to move the football, and you've been able to really control this football game offensively and defensively, but with the 3 turnovers, you've kept them in it. And now to go down here late as we go under 5 minutes in this first half, boy, this is huge if the defense can come out and stand, and they can go in up 14-3 in the halftime locker room.
Extra offensive lineman, Gillespie fighting for the goal line, touchdown. Second rushing score for Gillespie. He's got both the NC State touchdowns. That is a tough dude, by the way. That guy right there. Ooh. All those people were worried about Harold Landry a year ago, and he went to work.
He's a hard charger, and it's, you know, the look on his face right now isn't one. Looks like he's very happy he's going to get a chance to get back in there.
11-point lead for the Pack. Second quarter continues in a moment. 11-point lead for NC State. We rejoin you from Raleigh at Carter Finley Stadium. Dave Doran's got to be happy with his team. James, they have survived the 3 first-half turnovers so far.
1 on the punt return team. Thayer putting it on the ground, and then something that you don't see very often around here. A couple mistakes by Ryan Finley. The interceptions thrown, but an 11-point lead to show for it. Only 3 points scored off of those turnovers for BC, and here they'll have one more chance before halftime, perhaps.
Bambard will kick it away. And this will be Walker at the 5. Trying to circle back across the field, and a flag thrown in behind the play. Walker makes it to the 32-yard line. So too tight look. Brown to throw from it again, looking for Smith, and overshoots it incomplete. Backside coverage from Jarius Moorhead on Jeff Smith, Rebecca.
Well, guys, quarterback Anthony Brown's been chatting with his offensive line this entire game, trying to keep their spirits up on that last possession, telling them to buckle down and urging them to push the tempo on every single drive and take nothing for granted. They want touchdowns, not field goals.
Well, Rebecca, they've had a couple opportunities, a couple missed balls by Brown. The long shots, they got to connect.
That's Glines. He'll pick up about 5. Tim Kidd Glass, who we saw have a nice ball game here against Georgia State, on the stop for the Wolfpack.
You know, Wes, I mean, that's the second. There was one that Brown missed in the end zone after the turnover earlier. We take a look at Brian White, the running back coach here, helping with the signals for his backs on a big 3rd down and 5. And there's another miss. But here's a chance to get their first 3rd down conversion. You talk about huge here. What is this defense going to dial up?
3:10 to go first half. Brown and sacked. Deontay Holden and James Smith-Williams meet at the quarterback.
West, they lost 4 guys, I remind you, to the NFL draft. But what's going to happen now on that defensive front? Well, they're going to be athletic, but are they going to be heady football players? Are they going to play like those guys did? You can't just have 1 or 2 rushers. You got to have everybody working as a unit. And when you've got guys that are disciplined and in their rush lanes, there's nowhere to go. It shows right there off the field again.
Carlson's punt. Fair call. Bayer Thomas at the 14. So, 47-yard punt, no return. State will take over there. Finley, quick throw on first down. And Myers close to another first down. And, of course, the Hokies get the 2nd career start tonight for Ryan Willis, young man who transferred from Kansas and looked pretty good last Saturday night in the win at Duke.
Right. It's tough to replace big Josh Jackson. What a tough blow for that football team in the loss to Old Dominion.
Here, look at Person. He'll get another first down. That's 14 yards for Ricky Person. Coming up on 2 minutes, James.
Look what you've got here. Hines is back in the house to see the guys that are filling his shoes. It may take 2 guys, but that's all right. The 1-2 punches look good today. Gillespie with 2 touchdown runs, and Person just keeps getting it done. Look at him go again.
And he will drive the stack toward the 43. Davon Jones, who at one time in his career was a running back, made the stop. And Ryan taking the shot. Harmon, did he get a foot down? Sure he did. Boy, Kelvin Harmon is a show now.
Good job, protection, plenty of time for Finley. And there's that back shoulder throw. We've seen it to Meyer a couple times in this one, and that one's a no-doubter. They don't even need to look at it. They don't even need space, those receivers. Again, we've got defensive backs running with them.
Another pressure package here from BC. Finley dances right and will throw Harmon inside the 10. Toe taps out of bounds at the 7. 8-yard line, 1st and goal.
Well, they bring a blitzer through on the ground, unable to even phase Finley. And you got big Harmon just setting up shop in between that zone, and it looked a little bit like Jones might have been lost on that one. Not deep enough into that drop, and an easy throw.
Gillespie with 50 seconds to go in the first half on 1st and goal, cracks the 5. And now another Wolfpack timeout with 46 seconds left. That's their final timeout, James, of this first half. Finley, 2nd and goal. Quick throw, Myers, touchdown.
Well, Jim Reed, he brings the house. But if you bring the house, you better get there, and you better get there now with this quick throw game. That's just, they're unable to cover the secondary, unable to cover these big guys here today. And Myers now 9 catches, 83 yards, and oh, by the way, first time in the paint here in 2018 for Jacoby.
Done, the point after. NC State turns it over 3 times, but the Wolfpack gets 2 Reggie Gillespie touchdown runs, James, and a moment ago, a Ryan Finley to Jacoby Myers. Pass and catch. 21-3 for the number 23 team in the country. In time for our Honda Dealers of the Carolinas Coach's Corner with Rebecca and Dave Doran.
Thank you very much, Coach. Able to close out this first half with another touchdown. How important was that, especially after those 3 early turnovers?
That's huge. Our defense has been great all day, getting the ball back. They've been put in some tough situations. We got to take care of the ball and finish drives to get in the end zone. That was awesome to get a touchdown because we get the ball first here in the third quarter. So if we can just take care of the football in the second half, we got a good shot.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Rebecca, thanks. 21-3. NC State the lead at the break. Hardy's halftime report coming up next. Second half action from Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh. With James Bates, Rebecca Capel, Wes Durham, our great crew, Dave Barringer, our producer, Lonnie Dale, our director, and we're ready for half number 2. And Boston College will kick it away. And he'll have a chance. Trial 20, 26-yard line. And that's where NC State will start. Here's Person starting the second half at the running back spot, and he'll have a first down. 11-yard run, 12 to the 38 before Richardson makes the stop on Ricky Person Jr.
Again, watch those big athletes up front. Everybody a body on a body clearing the way. That stretch play has worked all day long. And like we talked about at halftime, it's what are you going to do? You're going to bring an extra body in now to defend that run, stop that run. They'll get you like they did the entire first half out on the perimeter with those big bad receivers.
And Bodine will get the carry. Breaking free, hard run. Almost 10 on first down. In fact, he did get 10. Hamp Cheevers the tackle of Brady Bodine, whose dad is Lieutenant Colonel Wayne Bodine and has been deployed for much of Brady's football career here in Raleigh. James?
We'll make that the 1, 2, 3. Not just Gillespie in person, but it's Bo time now.
Sure is. We saw him get the long touchdown run against Georgia State in our week 2 coverage here in Raleigh.
Boy, the bench get excited for their man. They're fired up for Brady, hard worker.
And Zach Allen leads the tacklers for BC there on first down. So second and almost the full 10. Allen was shaken up earlier, came back with that wrap around his, you see the right tricep wrap that he's got there, and I'm going to guess that's somehow relieving the pressure that he's got in that shoulder, James, as much as he can today at least.
Right.
The wear and tear of the season, though, is starting to settle in on everybody, but especially these Eagles on defense, it looks like. Davon Jones left. We have not seen him since. Here's Finley. Quick throw. Myers into double figures on his 10th catch. And Jacoby Myers to the 33 of Boston College. 17-yard throw. Tajamir Torres on the stop.
Can't say enough about the protection up front, the wall that they build. And speaking of walls, when you've got the big bodies at receiver, when they run those routes and they have inside leverage, it must feel like a big wall that you're trying to fight through if you're a defender. Running with the route, but you've got the big old body walling you off, and easy throw and catch.
Lobbing for Harmon. Caught it. Touchdown.
Again, plenty of time. Nobody for Bo to even block. And then one-on-one, it's Lucas Dennis, a little bit of help late over the top. But Lucas Dennis is 5'11", 185. Kelvin Harmon is 6'3", 215 pounds. And he's going to win that battle time and time again, as we have seen it today. Time and time again.
Kelvin Harmon. Touchdown catch number 2. 28-3 NC State. Manbart's kick toward Michael Walker. He'll play from the far side. And Walker now very dangerous out toward the 40. Rolled over at the 38. That's where Boston College will get started. BC from its 38. Brown. And the catch made on the backside, and that's Kobe White, redshirt sophomore. Third catch. And of course, when you talk about the Tigers, good news for Dabo Sweeney, and that's the Cartersville, Georgia freshman Trevor Lawrence goes back under center this afternoon against the Deacons.
Well, that's good to see. That got interesting in a hurry last weekend during our game when that went down. So
Travis Levy going to pick up the first down, and that is just the fifth first down of the day for Boston College. NC State's got 28 of them. Tough day at the office for Anthony Brown so far. Brown, quick throw, and beyond the reach of Chris Garrison, the redshirt junior tight end.
Well, tough day at the office, and you got to think for guys like Trevor Lawrence, for the rest, Eric Dungy down the road, for the rest of these teams, it's only going to get tougher and tougher for opposing head coaches, their offenses, to come in and to face this defense because they're playing better every single time out.
Yep. Brown on the keeper off the read. Anthony Brown inside the 25 and hauled down at the 21. Kid Glass saves the touchdown.
Well, it's a nice zone read, and it's an excellent job with the block to seal that corner by Petrula. Earlier, we were picking on him a little bit, but this time he gets Shug Frazier down there knocking right outside the red zone. You know, it's an offense that wants to go that fast pace, but they've been thrown out of that even.
Here's Glines, and Ben Glines gets the Boston College touchdown on a 21-yard run, and BC answers right back, James.
21-yard run for the touchdown.
Nice answer by Dazio's team.
Without a doubt, and the physicality comes back with the offensive line. We all know those big guys for Steve Dazio can get up and move and can seal that wall as well. And there you see a great job, Sam Small on the next level, sealing that linebacker, and then it's Glines off to the races untouched.
Lichtenberg's point after.
Point after is good.
New score in Raleigh with 93 seconds to play in the third. NC State 28, and now Boston College 10. Here's the kick, and no return for trial. Look at this. Here comes Gillespie. First down. James, you hit this in the first half. Ricky Persons made Reggie Gillespie a better football player.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. We came here against Georgia State, and it's like, gosh, what are they going to have run game wise?
Yeah.
You know, it's freshmen. We didn't know a heck of a lot about. You got Penix back there too, and you know, we got Bodine that ran late, but it's going to be the Gillespie show. Well, it's definitely not the Hines show anymore.
Here's Person on the cutback, driving it beyond midfield, first down. Will Harris finally is able to wrestle down Ricky Person Jr.
Folks here in Raleigh insist that number 20 is not 100%. Was banged up. He's got a groin and a hip injury. He's looking pretty fresh right now, though.
Well, Ryan Finley's thrown 34 yards to Kelvin Harmon. Ben Glines has scored from 21 yards out. 28-10. NC State into 3. Our game summary through 3 periods of play in Raleigh. You see the differential in total yards, but James, the first down numbers are just stark.
Oh, they are. And even with that total yards number for BC of 171, 62 came on that last drive. Time of possession. How about that? That looks like some Georgia Tech numbers. Talking ACC football.
Yep, almost 18 full minutes. Ricky Person in the backfield. 1st and 10 midfield for NC State, trying to get to 5-0 for the first time in 16 years. Here is Person. 5 more for the Pack.
Number 20, Ricky Person in the ball carrier.
And run that zone. They just guys getting. I mean, this is throwback ball right here. This is just offensive line working together in unison, firing off that ball, winning the battle up front, in a back that can get downhill and has good vision. And it just, I mean, it shows you how natural it is for a really good running back. It's not something that you teach. He's just a freshman. It's just very natural. Bend it back. There's a nice pickup. I mean, it's 5 yards on first down. You'll take that all day long, get a defense on their heels.
Brady Bodine, the ball carrier. And he will be close. Isaiah McDuffie, another tackle. We're seeing a lot of rotation among those linebackers. We saw a lot of Davon Jones before he was injured. But now we're seeing Lamont, McDuffie, Bletzer. Richardson was ejected. Remember, they lost Richardson to the ejection, Jones to the injury, so they're down to Strahan, Lamont, McDuffie, and Bletzer, James.
Amir Torres has been banged up, the cornerback.
There's Connor Strahan, over 200 career tackles. 3rd and short. Quick throw in the flat, and Thayer Thomas working to the perimeter. First down and more. Mike Palmer knocked him out of bounds, but the damage already done for Raleigh's Thayer Thomas.
Well, Eli Drinkwitz said yesterday, they haven't been great in space, tackling in space. Well, here's one way to do it. You got 3rd and very short. They're going to sell out trying to stop that run. There's a one-on-one. Lucas Dennis, step up, give him a little shake, boom. First down and an easy pickup.
Boy, like everything about Thayer Thomas, James.
Well, I mean, the play call.
Yep.
When you got an offensive coordinator has enough trust in his guys, he's willing to go throw it. There's a lot that could go wrong throwing that football out there like that.
Fumble of the ball, and the 4th turnover of the day by NC State. And Ricky Person coughed it up on first down. And the ball will go over to the Eagles as Will Harris recovers.
Handoff seems to be just fine. And, you know, it's one thing when you're going through traffic like that, you got to keep both hands on the ball. You get out in the open, you get it in that outside hand, and it's off to the races. But while you're still in traffic, that's one way to get in the doghouse as a young runner.
Yep.
Put the ball on the ground. That's the last thing that Ricky Person wanted to happen, but that's exactly what Boston College needed. Watch the big shot, sudden change. Do they go up top here, try to get one of those big hitters that they missed on in the first half?
Brown from the pocket looking, caught wide open, Michael Walker. Walker down to the 19. Tanner Engel, the touchdown-saving tackle for NC State.
And they do just that. Double move. And it's got to have some time. You got to have some protection. Brown does. He throws it behind Walker. It's still, they get the big hit. And they get him on their heels on the sudden change.
Glines fights for yardage. Down to the 14. Rebecca in Boston College looking to get a little sudden change score here.
Absolutely. And you can just sense there's a renewed energy from this team after scoring their first touchdown of the game a few minutes ago. The guys doing a lot of talking on the sidelines, getting each other fired up. They just needed to get their offense on the field, so this is their chance.
Brown to the gun. Walker to the boundary. 2 receivers to the top. Brown looking that way. Now back across. And threw it behind Walker, the intended receiver. Chris Ingram, the corner, had followed him across, and coverage for State. 3 minutes and change gone here in the 4th, and all of a sudden, James, little tempo, even though it's an 18-point lead for the Wolfpack.
4th quarter of this football game, 0 third down conversions. Wouldn't this be a big one right here? They've got to get the 8-yard line for a fresh set of downs.
Busted play. Brown tries to get to the edge, and Pratt through the air takes him down at the 11, and Steve Adazio will go for it here.
No, big 3, bringing the hammer down. Absolutely, guys, not on the same page. You're not going to sell anyone anyway. You know, if it was a zone read and he's trying to get outside, you're not going to get Pratt to freeze up. He's a beeline. Play of the game right here.
Brown out of the flat here is Glines again. Touchdown, Boston College. So Ben Glines has got his second touchdown of the day. This one on a pass of 11 yards.
Dazio wants to go for 2 here, make it a 10-point game. You see all these bodies over here, and they slip out Glines. There's nobody left to cover him. And you got to think Isaiah Moore, just a freshman with a mix-up. And what a costly error there on 4th down. Still haven't converted on 3rd, but they'll take the 4th down. They were stuffed, remember, on the opening drive to set the tone on a 4th down try. So 1 for 2. Can they get the 2 here and make it a 10-point two-score game?
Almost 4 minutes gone. 2-point try. And beyond the reach of Travis Levy. So it is a 12-point game. 11-10 to play in Raleigh. And after a struggle all day, Boston College has put together 2 5-play scoring drives. Ben Glines on the receiving end.
Well, and you know, and Anthony Brown, you even saw on the double move on the big play there. He's been a little bit off today. He's got to be crisp here down the stretch if they want to have a chance to come charging back. But first things first, something's got to happen, and they've got to stop Dave Doran's offense, because they really haven't been able to. It's without the turnovers, they really haven't been able to here today.
And boy, we've seen a nice combination in the run game, haven't we? With Reggie Gillespie and Ricky Person, and at times the redshirt Brady Bodine. Play fake Finley on 1st down. Cuts it loose. There's Harmon. And broken up by Palmer coming across the top. Well, nicely done by Mike Palmer.
Absolutely breaking on that ball. Finley's going to take a shot as he lets go of it. And there's 2 guys trying to go up and high point the ball. You still see who kind of wins that battle up in the air. The big body of Harmon. And nice job by Palmer to time it up and break it up as well. 2nd down and 10 now.
Cutting near side, Gillespie. And Palmer again will make the tackle. Or no, is that Strahan? It is Connor Strahan who makes the stop for Boston College on Reggie Gillespie.
Jerome Prescott drove his guy in front of him back about 10 yards to help out there. He's over on that side of the line with Tyler Jones. Tyler Jones, by the way, in his 31st start. These big guys for Gillespie and company to run behind. Can they do it here on 3rd and very short?
Inside 10.5 to go. That's Autenreith in motion, and boy, can't get it there. Boston College has been sturdy, James. Ironically, in the big jumbo sets from NC State, when they spread BC out, it's been a little more rewarding, as Eli Drinkwitz was talking to us yesterday. Here, not so much, though.
Well, that's why you saw the last 3rd and short. They go with the little swing out to Thayer. When you get everybody bunched in there, and this is the right call here on 4th down, you absolutely have to punt it away. Because for the most part, BC has not been able to move the football on your defense.
First punt of the day for A.J. Cole III, a senior from College Park, Georgia. He's just going to try and flip this over at Michael Walker, who fair catches and does so right around the 20. 48-yard punt. Steve Adazio and the Eagles trail a dozen. 9.5 to go in Raleigh. 12-point lead for NC State. You see the details. 9:39 to go, and here's the summary from Boston College today. No turnovers. They're +4 takeaway giveaway, James, but boy, it's been hard. Been an all-dayer.
You know, and here it is right here. It's, you know, there's still plenty of time for 2 scores, but this right here is the dogfight. This right here is the physical contest of who wants it more right now. A defense that's played great.
Brown for Smith. Jeff Smith the catch to the 45 of the Wolfpack ahead of Jarius Moorhead.
Smith banged up last week. Looks like he's injured a little bit here off the field, but the damage is done to NC State. And finally, when you need him, for Eagle fans, right on the money from Anthony Brown. Huge pickup.
35-yard catch. Approaching 9 minutes to go. Quick hit inside, and the catch made by Garrison. 6'3", 245-pound redshirt junior, Goffstown, New Hampshire.
And they're back to the hurry-up, back where they feel more comfortable, this offense.
Kobe White. Pratt's got him. Jermaine Pratt's doing damage today, Rebecca.
Yep, he is that vocal, experienced leader, and defensive coordinator Dave Huxtable saying he's the result of the culture of this coaching staff that they built when they got here. Older guys like Jermaine mentoring the younger guys, and it wasn't the case here when these coaches first arrived.
That's why he's our hardest star to watch today, James.
That's right. He's shutting them down.
Straight drop, Brown. And caught in traffic, Walker. Michael Walker, 1st and 10 at the 13. 21-yard throw, and Anthony Brown put that on a rope.
Well, he did, and he stayed in there for an extra couple beats. This is a couple plays after he's just been leveled by Pratt on the blitz. Stayed in there strong. Look at the grass on his helmet. Isaiah Moore goes for the big pick, and some more after the catch.
Brown again. Sweeney, a diving catch of it at the 5. Tommy Sweeney. First catch of the day for the big tight end, 13 yards.
Tommy Sweeney can do it all, and here, the layup. Wow. Look at the grab and to pull it back in and then to secure it.
1st and goal, Glines. And I'm waiting on the whistles to blow, and they're letting them play.
Still no whistle.
And out of there with it. Ball is loose, it looked like. Did Pratt? They came breaking away from the stack. The whistles never blew.
And if the whistles never blew, how do you not give them the football?
Right.
The ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by NC State. First down.
Oh, boy. Inopportune time for BC's first giveaway.
Watch Pratt right here, number 3. He's in the mix, as well as all those other white hats. You even see some punches to the helmets. Still no whistle. Ripping it away. Jermaine Pratt, you saw him after the sack and the big tackle leave the game. It looked like he needed a breather. Caught his breath, and he's right back in there. If there's no whistle, I don't really know what you can review.
And straight ahead.
And you know what? I just don't, because here's the way you look at it. If the pile continues to move, they eventually cross the goal line, they'll call it a touchdown. And then Dave Doran is upset because, well, you should have blown the whistle because it looked like progress was stopped. Was progress ever stopped? You know, we're watching it there in slow motion, so it's not real time. But maybe a hair late on the whistle, but still, you got to protect that football.
I don't disagree with you. And Jermaine Pratt, you know what? The old coaching adage, play to the end of the whistle, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, how many times have you heard it said in a practice field? Wait till you hear the whistle. Gillespie fights back to the line of scrimmage. What a day for Jermaine Pratt. Look at him. He knows how big this is for the Wolfpack, trying to get to 5-0 for the first time in 16 years. You've got to go back to the days of Phillip Rivers to find the last 5-0 start by the Pack. Now you got Lewis, Amezi, and Harmon to one side. Myers here to the wide side at the left. Big third down for NC State here, James. And really Boston College for that matter.
Yep, BC still with 3 timeouts. NC State as well.
Finley, Harmon the catch, first down. 9 catches today for Kelvin Harmon. Jacoby Myers has 10. I'm going to ask you a question, loaded question at that. When the chips go down and 15's got to make a throw, is it going to 3? Or is he going to 11? Or is he going to Amezi? Or is he going to Lewis?
Yes.
No,
Yes,
you got to pick one.
No, yes, he is.
No, that's not the answer.
You know, that's the thing. It doesn't matter who, because he has trust in every single one of them. And I mean, it's offensively, we talked about it. Eli Drinkwitz, it's a thing of beauty when you've got all these different weapons. And I will say one thing about this football game, and it's this clock ticks down, and it looks like NC State's gonna slip away. Still some football to be played. This has at no point has this ever not been a physical, hard-fought football game. Both of these teams have continued to scrap and scrap. Even when Adazio's troops looked like they couldn't do anything right, they still found a way to get back in it. Time's a ticking. So here you go. Play of the game. No whistle. Momentum stop. Looks like they're still moving. No whistle. There's your whistle. When Pratt comes out of it with the football, and Steve Adazio continues to let the officials know that they should have blown it. Felt like they should have blown that whistle and blown the play dead.
Second and short, Gillespie. And trying to take the stack. Now, you should be for sure that Boston College is reaching in there trying to tug it out.
Well, without a doubt. And, you know, the whistle has been a little bit of an ongoing theme this season for Adazio's team. At Purdue, they thought they heard a whistle. The defense, there was no whistle. A 70-yard pass play is what it turned out to be against the Boilermakers.
This is a battle that leads to a bigger war, if you will. And for NC State, a win today, the war would be in 2 weeks at Frank Howard Field.
Well, that's right. And it has been a war here today in this Atlantic Division.
Play fake by Finley. Rounding around, here's Lewis the catch and knocked out of bounds. In fact, incomplete, it'll be ruled. So fourth down coming up, and that'll bring AJ Cole on to punt for just the second time here this afternoon.
I like the play call, and I also like the way it was defended. That's a heads up. Good job by the defenders. You know, everybody trying to sell out and stop that run when you got third and short. So they come up with another stop, and there's still plenty of meat on that bone. 3:41. Gonna have to act fast with only one timeout remaining.
Cole had it blocked. And Boston College is going to recover it in the end zone with Levy. Travis Levy off the punt block has scored the touchdown that BC needed. With 3:33 to play.
Wow. You kidding me? A team that's already had a field goal blocked, a field goal attempt blocked in North Carolina State. The special teams, Steve Adazio told us on the phone this week, he's really pleased with the way his special teams have played. They've had a couple turnovers here and there, but it's kind of one guy's here and there that he needs to improve on. Special teams wise, it's been a huge day. A blocked field goal try and now a blocked punt to pull within a touchdown perhaps.
Lichtenberg the point after. So Travis Levy recovers the block for the touchdown.
And they brought the house, and with that spread formation, you know, all these different looks that you'll get from these punt teams.
Mike Palmer looks like he blocked the punt, and then Travis Levy the recovery.
How about that roller coaster the last couple minutes for Adazio on that sideline?
Well,
to go from the strip ball by Pratt.
And James, now you've only got the one timeout, so you almost have to onside kick it now if you're Boston College.
Well, you know, I don't know, because the fact that you've had such a tough time stopping this offense makes you think, hey, that maybe we need to.
Boy, the third phase of the game gets bigger every week, seemingly in college football. Colton Lichtenberg will try now. He's got 5 on either side. Chops at it. And that's Thayer Thomas. How about that? Playing on that second line on the wide side.
You know, Lichtenberg gets the exact hop that he needs. There's nobody down there for it. Maybe a little bit too much of a line drive. And here's Lichtenberg, a guy who's been shelved for a while. Gets that nice hop, but, you know, maybe even a chance if guys were turned around. So, but The good hands guy, the tough guy in Thayer, put it back in the hands of NC State. They're going to have it at midfield right now. And again, they have to get a stop. They've got that one timeout. They have to get a stop here.
Ryan
Can't let them have first down.
Play clock starts, and Ryan Finley with 3.5 to play. As Reggie Gillespie at the running back spot. We have not seen Ricky Person since the fumble, and that was now 3 possessions ago. This is Gillespie. And he'll get 3, maybe 4 to the right side. McDuffie the tackle. Boston College playing without Davon Jones, injured in the first half. Max Richardson ejected for targeting in the second half, so only 4 linebackers to fill 3 spots for Steve Adazio. BC out of timeouts. Gillespie close to the first down. And actually for the Wolfpack, that's not a bad play to leave yourself with 3rd and short because the clock will run. And now they're going to stop it with 3:13 to play to measure, I believe. Although I thought from up top here that Gillespie was short.
BC with no more timeouts.
Right.
Got it? What is it?
Yes, first down.
That'll do it. Watch these big bodies up front. If you want a player of the game, and it's not just the guys there on that offensive line. Ottenruth, the tight end, in there as well.
Yeah, there's Dillon, who played at North Paulding High School, by the way, for Scott Jones, and they're called the Wolfpack outside of Atlanta. So he went from one set of Wolfpack to another. Here's Gillespie, first down, and BC trying to rip at it. Mike Palmer, the first guy there. Clock continues to roll toward 2.5. And Reggie Gillespie over 100 yards in time for today's Toyota Let's Go Places. And this is a little bit like what we did last week in Atlanta, James. We're checking out people's neighborhoods. And this is Dave Doran's neighborhood.
Okay.
This is why it's called the Big Four, if you will, in North Carolina. Duke just 22 miles away. Carolina a couple tenths more. Wake Forest, who's got number 4 Clemson at BB&T Field today, just over 100.
The Research Square. We got all 4, right?
It's a Research Triangle.
Oh, it's a triangle.
Yes, Research Triangle is Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill.
No, it's way off.
Those are notices. That kind of stuff right there gets you in trouble.
I do know that one.
Well, and the issue, the reason it's so prominent to NC State is the good recruiting that Dave Doran has done here. Look at that. 38 of the 84 guys on scholarship are from the state of North Carolina. And the recruiting analysts tell us that they're having another outstanding recruiting class headed to this December and on into February of 19. Catch by Lewis. And Steph Lewis stays in bounds. Nope, measured out at the 12. Made a tremendous catch and spin. And with 1:08 to go, NC State can go to 5-0 for the first time in 16 years after the 21-yard catch.
Again, the bodies are coming. They're bringing more bodies, blitzing, but it's the protection was just immaculate. What a great job by the offensive front protecting Finley today and opening the holes for those running backs.
Going to take 2 more snaps for the Wolfpack. Actually, just 1 more snap, and then that'll be it. Dave Doran. Steve Adazio are going to be really disappointed. His team's slow start today, James, really both sides. And by the time they were the beneficiary of 4 turnovers and 2 plays in the special teams. And yet they're going to lose their first league game and their second on the season.
Yeah, it's a tough one. 2 guys have a lot of respect for one another right there. Dave Doran and Steve Adazio in a hard-fought game. 2 teams that played Exactly like their coaches wanted them to from a toughness and intensity standpoint.
Yep, both in year 6, James, they've done a nice job building their programs.
And a heck of a win for Ryan Finley.
Yep.
In this Wolfpack football team.
Finley goes over 300 yards for the 14th time in his career. NC State 5-0, 2-0 in the ACC. Ryan Finley's 14th career game of 300 yards or more. And the Pack is 5-0 and 2-0 in the ACC with a week off before they meet Clemson at Death Valley in 2 weeks. For James Bates, Rebecca Capel, our producer Dave Berenger, our director Lonnie Dale, and our great crew. Wes Durham from Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh. NC State a winner, 28-23. See you next Saturday in Boston.